All right, the I Am Rapaport app is available on all Apple and Android devices. Once the app is downloaded, click the text tab to sign up for premium access. Do not live in FOMO. Premium access unlocks all Wednesday primetime episodes, plus the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast archives. Start the journey with us from the beginning. Here's a few historical moments from the archives. I'll keep saying it until people know. I'm like, one more episode, I'll say my sidekick. So they're like, who the fuck is G Monetti?
They gonna know in a few.
I'm in here with my man, Bill Burr. If you're getting your fucking information and any sort of news from me and this fucking guy that I'm in here with, you got bigger fucking problems. I'm about to talk to fucking Marty Scorsese about Raging Bull. This is not a test.
Hello?
Marty, it's Michael Rapaport.
Oh, hi, Michael. How are you doing?
Terry Crews, you got to shoot that motherfucker. You can't fight him. Liam Neeson, I'm ready to go fair one with this motherfucker.
Download the I Am Rapaport app today. What's up? This is Michael Rapaport. You are now listening to a brand new I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. We're breaking down the NBA draft. We have some really nutty, some might even say disgusting, sick fucks of the week. I just flew to Houston. TSA PRE-CHECK died this morning. We're breaking all that down, me and G Moody. Plus, we have special guest. You know him, you know the name, you know the teeth, and you know his game. Very, very, very special guest. Former New York Giant and one of the hardest working men, one of the most successful men in show business today. My man, Michael Strahan, is on the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. We're talking about going from being a bully in the NFL to one of the most successful, hardest working men on TV. We're talking some Giants, we're talking some NFL, and we're talking about what star, and he's met them all, he wants to chill with. Michael Strahan is in the house, but first, me and G Moody are going to set the table. This is a big body quarterback sacking I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. We're one of the best to ever do it. Michael Strahan, Miles, Jordan, let's start this off with something funky. I Am Rapaport stereo podcast is proudly sponsored by my bookie. It's World Cup season, and I am all in. The World Cup has been so much fun, and if you follow me on Instagram, and you should, at Michael Rapaport, you know I have been betting on nearly every game. I'm doing straight bets, prop bets, betting on individuals, and parlays. My bookie has it all. Come bet with me or against me. You want that action? You want that work? The Juru is on at mybookie.ag. That's my name, The Juru. Sign up now and use the promo code CUP, C-U-P, to get a 50% bonus for your World Cup action. If you're not a soccer guy or girl, then the Big Three is going on every Friday this summer, and you can bet on the Big Three. You can bet on the games, and who's going to win it all with the promo code BIG3RAP, BIG3RAP, for 100% bonus. The Big Three is action-packed. The games are fun. You should definitely get some action. Put some money down at mybookie.ag. The promo code is BIG3RAP for 100% bonus. Remember to hit me up on Instagram about all World Cup and Big Three action and sign up for MyBookie today at mybookie.ag. Make sure you get your account because we're going to be placing NBA free agency and I Am Rapaport stereo podcast related bets. We're getting wacky at mybookie.ag all summer. All right, the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast coming live and direct. My name is Michael Rapaport, a.k.a. the Gringo Mandingo, a.k.a. Mr. New York, a.k.a. the Jake LaMotta of podcasting. I'm right here with G Moody, whose last name rhymes with duty. They call him the Black Ed McMahon, the three-time podcast co-host of the year.
Hell yeah.
You guys are going to get ready for a treat. This is going to be a fantastic podcast. I'm telling you right now, get your pens out right now and put it in for the instant classic. Put it in for Podcast Hall of Fame, okay? Because me and G Moody are going to do our thing. Okay, world-class podcasting. Then we have motherfucking, and he doesn't curse because he's on TV, and he's making so much money to be on TV and not curse. I'm going to just slip one in there for him. Motherfucking Michael Strahan, NFL Hall of Fame, NFL giant, former defensive bully. He used to be a bully when he played. And somehow, some way, he broke all the odds, and there wasn't even a Michael Strahan that he could reference. The thing that's so crazy about Michael Strahan's off-the-field success is that there was no one even like him. Who would have thought that Michael Strahan would become a cross-cultural mega television star? He's like, Michael Strahan will be doing this until the wheels fall off like Dick Clark.
Yeah, and he played with LT.
Yo, he talks about LT, talks about the Giants, talks about covering the Oscars. This is a great interview with Michael Strahan. But first, Moody, I have a couple of things that I need to get off my chest.
Oh, go ahead, motherfucker. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna fucking go ahead. So I'm in Houston, and I flew from LaGuardia, the smaller of the two airports in New York City. I flew from LaGuardia to Houston, and you've flown with me. And the Dust Brothers, Miles and Jordan, have flown with me. And I'm pretty sure that you and the Dust Brothers do not have TSA PRE-CHECK. And as you know, when we go to the airport, I say to you guys, hey, fuckos, I'm on TSA PRE-CHECK. I signed up online. I took the meeting. I'll see you at the fucking Starbucks. I'm not waiting with you assholes, whether you're in coach, business, or first. If you don't have TSA PRE-CHECK, you're not zipping through the line. Is that correct? When we fly, before we do our warm-ups and our exercise and put the oil in case any incidents, I talk shit, right? Like, yo, fucko, I'll see you later.
Yeah, absolutely. When we're not in the bathroom getting our eye black, just in case some shit jump off, you're usually gone.
Well, apparently TSA PRE-CHECK died this morning. And they're working some sort of scheme or scam because TSA PRE-CHECK is now a fucking zoo and a free-for-all. And I noticed this the last couple of times I flew. It wasn't zipping through the line. They have this new thing that I guess you could pay for called Clear, which is like TSA PRE-CHECK on steroids, which I'm going to be getting effective immediately because what I experienced in TSA at the quote-unquote PRE-CHECK at the fast line this morning was straight animal kingdom. It was a fucking zoo. I waited on that TSA PRE-CHECK line. This is at 6:30 in the morning. This isn't like prime time, 12 o'clock on a Friday. 6:30 in the morning. I mean, it wasn't moving. There was no movement. It was slow service. The guys who were running the TSA PRE-CHECK were rude. They were obnoxious. And as soon as I got on the line, literally, and I'm not bullshitting, I videotaped it. I swear about, instantaneously, 100 people lined up behind me. And I was already behind about 300 people. It was slow. It was bullshit. And I want to officially say that TSA PRE-CHECK died this morning. To quote the great Nas Escobar when he said, hip hop has died this morning. TSA PRE-CHECK died this morning. It's a fucking it's nothing now.
It's not as good as you thought?
Well, I just think that I think it's a business thing. I think that because Clear is like the next level, and I think a lot of people got hip to TSA PRE-CHECK, and it was good for 3 or 4 years that I've had it. It's always going to be better than the regular lines, but it was shit. It's been shit the last few weeks, and now I'm going to step my game up to Clear, and I suggest you do the same, and the Dust Brothers do the same this summer on the World Tour, because I'm not waiting for you fucks. And as you know, the World Tour starts Thursday, July 26th. July 26th, the World Tour hits Canada in Toronto. Saturday, August 4th, New York City, back at the crib. Saturday, August 18th, Houston, Texas. Wednesday, August 22nd in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You know we're taking a nice pick at the Rocky Steps. We'll be at Union Transfer. And then Saturday, August 25th in Boston, Massachusetts. You can get all tickets for the tour at IamRapaportTour.com. A lot of traveling, a lot of flying. Moody, Dust Brothers, Miles, Jordan. Hey, I'm getting that clear because TSA PRE-CHECK is a shit show.
Clear is the way to go because, but I don't care. For me, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're a patient guy. That's why they used to call you fun-loving.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I can wait. I'll wait and then I'll get my seat. But you're a crazy guy, so I understand how it goes.
Yeah, I'm in the fucking line also. I'm taking selfies with people. People are like heckling my video. Hey, fucking skim me through, man. Skim me the fuck through. I don't want to be on that goddamn line for 45 minutes. It's supposed to be the fast track. It ain't the fast track.
Yeah, no fast track.
The NBA draft went down, and I got to be honest, a lot of these players, I've done my research a little bit. A lot of them I don't know. The Knicks booed. The Knicks fans in the arena booed our first pick, Kevin Knox.
Right.
I don't know much about him, but David Fizdale is our guy.
Yeah.
I trust Fizdale. The crazy thing about the majority of the players in this draft, the big ragu, Vincent DiVincenzo from Villanova got picked. Mo Bamba from Harlem, New York got picked. Harlem is back. These guys are all one and done, two and done. I mean, it's crazy how young they are, like 18, 19, and there's no surefire great player in the entire draft.
Yeah. This is how you know the NBA will be on the decline because you don't have game changers coming into the league. This is how you know Adam Silver, you got a dilemma on your hand whether you know it or not. But, we don't have no game changers. Who's a Kobe? Who's a LeBron?
No.
Who?
I agree. But I was talking to I'm in Houston for the Big Three, and I was at the Toyota Center where the games are tonight. Big Three tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight, 6:30 Eastern tonight on Fox, FS1, and on Facebook Live. I am the Howard Cosell of the Big Three. I was talking to all the players. I was talking to Jimmy Jackson. I was talking to Baron Davis. Talking to George Gervin. I was even talking to the great Willis. The captain, Willis Reed, was at the practice.
Yeah.
And as much as you see, and I've spent time around the captain when the Garda was eating, you're like, that's Willis Reed. Here comes Willis.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And they all said, they were walking me through players they thought, were good, not good. And, it's true. Like in the league right now, I mean, like the guys you mentioned, Kobe's obviously out, but like how many players are true blue max game-changing players?
Yeah,
there's like
absolutely.
LeBron, Durant, maybe Harden. We could say Steph, but it's a weird thing because he's out there, on that great team. And, at this point in his career, he's a little older. The Greek Freak, maybe, not yet. Not yet.
But nothing is coming into the league as a superstar, as a game changer. This is one of the weakest drafts that we have seen in our lifetime because, the league is already established. Kevin Durant, fucking Steph Curry, LeBron. You're not coming there. Harden. You're
Anthony
not Chris
Davis.
Paul. Yeah, you're not coming in there superseding that. So who do you see in that level, Rap?
I got to be honest. I mean, as far as in this draft, I don't know much about it. I don't know much about the guys. I'm going to be, I don't know, much about it. Like, I'm not going to front like I know about it. And, obviously this kid, Trae Young, he's young. He's a little dude, skinny dude.
Yeah.
Like they said that about Steph, but, is lightning going to strike again? Can you, because he's a little dude and he shoots? Steph Curry's,
Let me tell you, that dude will fizzle out. They try to compare him to a one-of-a-kind player. You can't do that. Just
because he's a light-skinned, skinny dude and he shoots.
Nah. Let him do his shit, but you can't compare him to one of the great players of all time. It's a lot of undue pressure on Trae Young, and I think it's you shouldn't do that. Let's see how he does. I don't think it's going to be good because he's short. You ain't going to get that shot off, man, like that in the league, man.
Yeah, Steph Curry is two-time MVP, dude. That's like saying, somebody's the next Steve Nash. You can't even predict that shit.
Steph Curry's an icon. He's not just a regular ball player. It's some different shit. He's up there with Jordan and these dudes, man, as far as marketability and just
everything.
Revolutionizing basketball as far as shooting.
Yeah. Everything.
Come on, man.
Everything. He's a pivotal player in the NBA.
Yeah.
But it was cool to be around all the players as the first, 15 or 16 guys were being drafted and hearing their reactions. It's so dope when, like, the thing about the big three for me, and I talked about this before, but when I'm chilling there and I'm with all these dudes, Rashad McCants and, Reggie Evans and Rashard Lewis and, and these guys, and they're just talking hoops. I was like, that'll never get old.
Yeah.
And these guys know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Man, I mean, we played on a lower level, but, the basketball culture and how we all do things is all the same from the parks, just being competitive. We love hoops, man, and we just want it to keep going. And guys, LeBron, where you at?
Yeah, we're not talking to him. We're not discussing this fucking guy. He's not going to fucking hold us hostage all summer.
What about Kawhi? What you think about Kawhi?
Listen, I try to keep things politically correct, and I've been waiting for you to kind of, for you to remember. But you stamped him with the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast short bus label about 3 years ago. Now, so I didn't want to say it. I thought you might just pick up on that. About 3 years ago, you stamped him with the IAR short bus rubber stamp. We've had problems with this fucking guy since before he decided to fix his hair. Now he keeps his braids tight. But if you remember correctly, we were on this Listen, he doesn't talk. When can you remember a guy like Tim Duncan was quiet, but when can you remember a star in the league that you can't get 2 fucking words out of? Now, I get that some players are shy. Not everybody's Draymond Green. Kevin Durant is kind of a quiet dude. But this fucking guy, he makes me fucking uncomfortable. I'm going to keep it fucking real.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
He makes me fucking uncomfortable. Like, fucking spit it out, man. What's your fucking problem, man?
He looks like the type of motherfucker that will blow up the locker room. Listen, man. If like David Robinson said that shit on the talk show. He said, if you the franchise player, you got to be verbal. You are the
I don't
guy.
think he's not franchise. So like we were talking about transcendent guys. Kawhi Leonard's great player.
He is.
But is he a max guy?
Yeah. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, the next fucking chain of command is Kawhi Leonard. He doesn't have the personality, but David Robinson was making the point like, we don't give a fuck about that, B. You gotta talk. You gotta accentuate what you want. Popovich is not his job is not to coddle your ass. You supposed to talk, and if you can't talk, you're not gonna get that $200 million. That's how you put it.
Yeah,
to these motherfuckers, man.
I mean, you got to be able to talk. Like, you see like the players, Chris Paul, LeBron, Steph. You see Draymond. Like when they go to the huddle, sometimes they're talking like, this fucking guy never says anything. So I don't know what's gonna happen with him. I'm happy. All these kids got drafted. It was exciting to watch them. It's crazy how young they are. But I want to say one thing about the draft. This fucking guy, Adrian Wojciechowski, what's his name? Wojciechowski? Mr. fucking know-it-all, Mr. NBA insider for ESPN. A half hour before the draft, he's like, these are going to be the first 6 picks. Hey, asshole. Hey, fucko. Nobody likes a know-it-all. Okay? I want to, you're ruining, you're giving away the ending. Here's the first 6 picks, la, 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 la. First of all, I hope the guys that are giving you that information stop giving you that information. Yeah. Okay. Second of all, what about the little bit of excitement? What about the family having excitement? What about the unknown? Nobody likes a fucking smartass, and nobody likes a know-it-all. Nobody wants to. Here's the before they even get in the arena. This team's picking this. This guy's getting this guy. This guy's getting traded. Shut the fuck up, man. Mr. fucking know everything about what's going on for the rest of the world knows it. Big fucking deal. I hope these guys, these GMs and these coaches stop giving you information. You can stop ruining the fucking draft and all the events of the NBA. I like a surprise. I want to hear it from you. And get yourself some Blue Astringent, Wojciechowski. I want to give a shout out to Coco the Gorilla. If you're our age, Coco the Gorilla used to be on TV all the time. He's one of the gorillas. He lived till he was 48. He used to be on TV. He used to be on all like the 60-minute shows and all the talk shows. He was on something with Robin Williams. I remember seeing Robin Williams bug out with Coco. He learned sign language. He was like one of these gorillas that sort of they were doing studies on, and he lived with this woman, and he passed. So I want to give a shout out to my man Coco the Gorilla.
Word.
He was a part of my my youth. Another thing that's going on is I don't know if you know this, Mr. Moody, but yesterday was National Selfie Day. Yesterday was a few things. It was National Selfie Day, National Arizona Day, National Skateboarding Day, and National Peaches and Cream Day.
All in one.
All in one fucking day. Let me tell you something. And it was National Yoga Day. Who's got time to do all this bullshit in one day?
National Selfie Day.
National Selfie Day. This is who's distributing the nationals?
Yo.
It's National Arizona. This is all in one day. Today, actually, June 22nd, which is my father's birthday. He's officially 85. Disco David Rapaport.
Oh, word. Happy birthday, Dave. No doubt. 85.
Today, along with being Disco Dave's birthday, National Onion Ring Day, National Chocolate Eclair Day. You're trying to make people shit like logs.
Oh, man.
And National Take Your Dog to Work Day. Yo, Duke, whoever's doing this, why is there not National I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast Day? If you're going to have National Chocolate Eclair Day and all this other foolishness, there needs to be National I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast Day, and I'm going to declare it right now.
Okay. That's what's up.
September 4th, 2018. Tuesday, September 4th, 2018 is now officially National I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast Day.
All right. That's what's up. We take the day.
We take the day. You're going to have all this corny shit, and 15 national things are happening on one day. There's National Orange Blossom Day, and all this bullshit. National Catfish Day. No one cares about that. You know what they care about? The award-winning 15 rounds Hard Body Karate, best podcast in the world. September 4th is the first ever National I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast Day.
Oh shit! So what's going to happen?
I don't know yet. I just did that off the top of my dome. I don't know, but we're going to come up with some sort of festivities.
Yes.
Miles Jordan, please cue the Sick Fuck of the Week music. This award is earned, not given. It's called the Sick Fuck of the Week. This guy's really sick. Lock him up. How could you do it? Don't let him out. Damn. You fucked the dog? You what? You fucked the dog? Why would you fuck the dog? Why would you fuck your girlfriend's dog? What? Sick fuck. The Sick Fuck of the Week. It's earned. Earned. Not given. You did. What? No. Yes, for new listeners of the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast, this is the Sick Fuck of the Week segment, the award-winning Sick Fuck of the Week segment. This is an award that is earned, not given. It is an award that is earned, not given. Not everybody gets this award. It only goes to the special few with that certain je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
First, a lot of people suggested this one. You saw this coming a mile away, people, with a video that she posted that was posted online, and it had one of those warning, this video might be disturbing to some. You bet your sweet ass it's disturbing to some. A young woman had posted a video online. She said, "You're probably wondering how I got great skin." She's saying that her acne was cleared, and she does it on camera. And I am going to ILO this animal. Her name is Joy McCarthy, kind of a regular-looking girl. I can't tell her age, probably like, I don't know. She could be 30. She could be 35. She could be 26. I can't really tell her age. Seems nice, seems normal, seems sweet. She does this video. You're probably wondering how my skin stays so clear. She's with her dog. She walks her dog with no cuts, no edits. This is no trick. She walks her dog to a tree. She has a cup in her hand. The dog pees. She catches all the urine on camera in the cup and then drinks it. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, sugar tits. You are a sick fuck. Okay? That dog piss is not fixing your skin. Okay? That dog piss didn't fix your acne. Okay? You're drinking dog piss? Why don't you drink some lemon water? All right? Why don't you drink some lemon water or get yourself some Noxzema? You got skin problems? There's other solutions. You're drinking your dog's piss and you think that works? This woman is automatically in the top 5 for sick fucks of the year of 2018 because she didn't just talk about it. She was about it. She does it on camera.
She drank the dog's piss. Enough said, man.
Top 5 of the year.
I ain't got shit else to say, man. You said it all, man.
This animal in Kansas City, authorities are looking for this animal. He videotaped himself at a high school in Kansas City, Center High School. They're on the lookout for him a couple of days ago. He's talking shit. This black dude, looks about maybe 5'10", because he's still on the lam. He's thinking it's so funny. A cat runs across the field, and like a football, he kicks the cat on video, laughs about it, thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. This is a sick fuck. If there's anybody out in Kansas City that finds him, I would say he's armed and dangerous. This guy's got some fucking leg on him. I mean, he kicked that fucking cat. It's offensive, man. Offensive. Definitely top 10 sick fuck of the week. I don't condone or support any of that behavior. I'm not even a cat guy. I don't like cats. In Panama City Beach, Florida, and this woman looks like a real sick fuck. I mean, she fits the part, and she's typecast. She looks nuts. Priscilla Ann Etheridge of Panama City Beach, Florida, attempted to do a drive-by shooting on her own son after an argument they had about a cell phone. She tried to do a drive-by shooting while her son was riding his bicycle on Front Beach Road. She tried to shoot at him with her .22. Priscilla Ann Etheridge was arrested and charged with aggravated assault. Luckily, she didn't kill her son. Damn. She had possession of a firearm, and there's other charges. Her son is 46-year-old. I suspect, by the looks of her, and the fact that the son has been raised by this woman, and I guarantee you he's not innocent, but he didn't pull the trigger on his mom.
Oh.
Lock up Priscilla Ann Etheridge. You can't go shooting your kid because of a little spat. It's your son.
Word. Yo, she tried to do a drive-by on her own son.
She's an animal.
This is unprecedented. Yo, imagine you had this motherfucker. Now you're trying to shoot him.
Yeah. This happened right there out there by our guy Greek George.
Oh, Astoria?
Astoria, you know, at the beer garden, the Bohemian Beer Garden. It's a famous place out in Astoria. We've been there. The person who was taking his order put this in there, and on his receipt it said, "Please spit in it," talking about his burger. And somehow or another, somebody snitched him out, and it said, "Please spit in it." So when this guy placed his order, the server didn't like his attitude, or maybe was having a bad day, who knows, and was telling the cook to spit in the burger. This happened right there in Queens, the great borough of Queens. To remind you, that's where Dick Stain Donald Trump is from. He's from Queens. I love this place. Greek George is a peaceful guy, one of the nicest guys I know.
Word.
I don't know what the fuck is going on in Astoria, but you got to mind yourself, and I'm very careful of it because I could be ornery and I could be misinterpreted very easily. You got to watch yourself when you're dealing with customer service people because they could spit in your burger, and now they're feeling comfortable to write it down in the receipt to give it to the. He might give the the chef $5 if he takes care of, like, yo, he might be spinning it. Who knows? Finally, in the boogie down Bronx, these people are on the lam on Pelham Parkway and White Plains Road. Is that near you, Moody, up in the Bronx?
Oh, hell yeah. That's 5 minutes from me, B.
In the boogie down Bronx, the whole thing was caught on camera, surveillance camera. Luckily, this guy wasn't hurt too bad, but the footage is just vile. 2 muggers punched and dragged a 61-year-old man down the stairs of a Bronx subway. Mm-hmm. The guy was probably in shock. He fought them off enough they didn't get his bag. They only got $20. Vicious. It could have really hurt this guy, but somehow or another they got away. I believe it's a guy and a girl. The whole thing is caught on video. They are sick fucks. They're on the lam. They could be your neighbors, Moody. You might know these people. Anybody that could find these animals and these sick fucks, 1-800-577-TIPS. Call NYPD Crime Stoppers. Terrible footage, disgusting footage. The Bronx is better than that. It's not the 1970s.
Be alert. That's what I would tell motherfuckers. Be alert, because I could get got. Be alert. And I'm a young, spry motherfucker. I done dunked rap. You saw me, right?
I saw you what?
You saw me dunk, right? So I'm a young motherfucker that get up. So imagine.
Well, you saw the T-shirt, the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast Air Moody T-shirt, which is sweeping the nation. The T-shirt, the depiction in the T-shirt has you not dunking.
They got me on some finger roll shit, but if you look at the tape, I grabbed the rim. See, that's the sucker shit that I don't know, Morris or whatever created that. That's bullshit, rap. You know that.
Okay. All right, listen. When we tell you we have guests, when we tell you we have interviews, we don't have no cornballs. We don't have no corny interviews. Let's get to it. Hall of Famer, one of the highest paid people on television, good dude. This guy's smart. This guy's a business dude. This guy's a transcendent star, literally. You never would have thought a defensive end for the New York Giants would wind up on Good Morning America as one of the hosts and all the other things. He does game shows. He does so much. Coming up next on the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast, a fantastic sit-down talking hip-hop. He's a hip-hop head, too. Talking football. Right? We're talking Academy Awards. We're talking a whole bunch of crap with Big Michael Strahan.
Yeah.
It's Buttersoft I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast sale time. We're having a sale, 30% off this weekend. 30% off just this weekend with the promo code BIG3. We got the Oakley tee in black or blue, the Wasteland tee, the Air Moody t-shirt, all Buttersoft, the Murder Doc and Chill t-shirt, the Sucker Shit t-shirt, which is sweeping the nation in black and or white. We got the You Fuck You t-shirt. We have Disruptive Behavior t-shirts and hats and more at districtlines.com/I Am Rapaport. The promo code this weekend for 30% off is Big 3. Yo, do not forget to watch the Big 3 all summer long. We're starting today, Friday, June 22nd in Houston, and all summer long at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1 and Facebook Live from Houston. I am the Howard Cosell of the Big 3. You can see me on the sidelines all summer long. Amari Stoudemire is playing, Baron Davis is playing, Meta World Peace is playing, Steven Jackson, Kenyon Martin. All the guys, they're out there playing, they're banging, they're talking shit all summer long. Big 3 is live this summer, starting this Friday, June 22nd at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1 and Facebook Live. This is the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast, live in New York. You might hear some beeping, some horns. I'm with a quintessential New Yorker who showed up early, surprisingly told me you have issues with time.
Yep.
You know the voice. Mike Strahan is in the house.
What's up?
How you feeling, Mike?
I'm good, man. I'm on time. I feel good. I didn't. It's rare.
Yes, that's surprising to me because you're like got 17 jobs. You're making money on top of money on top of money. And one thing I would be surprised about is that you even mentioned that you could show up late. How could you afford to be late?
All right, first thing is I show up for my jobs on time.
You're like, this foolishness.
Yeah, the job, my friends, it's like, I got to have a lunch with this. I got to do that. I'm like, I can fudge that.
When would you text and say, yo, I'm running late? Like for you, when are you late if it's not a work thing? Like, are you 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
I would text you probably 5 minutes before 5 minutes before I should be there. I will text you and tell you when I'm going to be there.
So you're not just like, I'm going to be late and I'll just get there when I get there.
No. I have courtesy.
Right.
I'm not a jackass.
Right.
Like I got courtesy to people, man.
Right.
Yeah, I'll give you a little warning, but believe me, I'm trying to get there, but I'm probably late because I was laying on the couch and I'm going like cutting it to the last minute.
No, I got it.
Or, that's just me. I can't help myself.
Now, is this a football thing? Is this like, where did you get this?
Tom Coughlin, man.
Was that real what he would talk about?
5 minutes early. If you're not 5 minutes early, you're late. So now my watch is set 5 minutes early. Everything is 5 minutes early. It's set 5 minutes early. So when I don't have to do something as structured as Tom Coughlin or work, then I'm probably 5 minutes late.
So this is like a This is like I'm retired.
Yeah. It's a rebellion thing. I really do. I think deep down I need some psychological help to get me through it because it's definitely rebellion.
So you have an infamous schedule. Like we're right now, we're in June.
Yeah.
With no football season. Mm-hmm. So when football season is going down, walk me through your busiest part of your week.
Well, it was different. My schedule's changed so much over the last few years. So when I first started after football, I was just doing football. Like I was just doing Fox. And that was great, man. I would wake up and on a Sunday morning, I'm in the studio at 5:30, 6 a.m., but I'm out of the studio 5 p.m., and I'm off for 6 days. Right. I show up on a Sunday and do it again. But then when I started doing the show with Kelly, then that was Monday through Friday in New York. Hop on a plane. Like Monday, I wake up.
What time?
That show was a little later. So I would wake up about 7:45.
Okay.
Because I could walk to the studio 2 blocks. So 7:45 on air, do the show. That was 5 days a week. Friday after that show, hop on a plane, fly to L.A., Saturday off, Sunday, Fox Studio, 5:30 in the morning till 5 p.m.
Man.
Back on the plane, land, go home, sleep 2 hours, get up, go do live on Monday, and just repeat the cycle.
And this year you got Thursday Night Football?
So this year is a little different because now I'm on GMA, and part of the deal was I don't work Mondays. But I do occasionally. They'll call and say we have something big. We really wish you could be. Would you mind? So I don't mind that. I'll be in on a Monday. But to do that, GMA's earlier. So by the time I get off the plane, I'm literally going from a plane straight to a studio with no sleep, and God knows what I could say. So you better be careful with that.
Are you accustomed to like what is a good night's sleep for you?
5 hours.
5 hours, you're good.
5.5 hours, and it's like, okay, that was like nice. But if weekend, I sleep in some weekends if I get lucky.
One of the things that I respect so much about you, aside to football stuff, which obviously you were a giant, you were a bully. I rewatched your football life, and it's like if I think if like some of these fans that saw you on that watch you on Good Morning America and all these television shows, like when we look back at like football, like you had your personality, but when the way you played, you were a bully. Like you were bullying dudes. Like you were kicking ass, and like you were a bully. Like not saying like you bullied people, but your style, like you would.
No. It was a pressure style. Like I wanted to. It was.
You were an ass kicker.
I'm not a bully off the field, but on the field, I was a bully.
Yeah, and you weren't dirty. I'm not saying in a dirty, but like you were like a physical player. And it's like it's not like, oh, this is the guy from Good Morning America. Like it's totally different personality.
But most people don't even know I play football now.
Now you're like,
oh,
they don't know who you are.
He's that big teddy bear from Good Morning America.
Yeah,
they don't realize that before. I loved that part. That's one thing I do miss. I do miss the physicality of it. And to me, I'm 250, 60 pounds. I'm looking at a guy who's 320 plus, up to 350 sometimes. I'm looking at this big dude, and I'm thinking, it's me or you. It ain't going to be me. Like, it's got to be you. And I felt like a small guy when I would walk in the locker rooms or just out in the streets with the other players. I'm like, man, I'm just small. Gosh, look at that guy. But then the second we put on the pads, I felt like I was the baddest man on the planet. Once I strapped the helmet on, I was going to bully you. I was going to keep pressure on you. Like Mike Tyson, when he fought people, Mike Tyson didn't sit back and okay, let me see how you're going to punch.
Right.
Mike Tyson attacked you.
Right.
And then I always thought to myself, what's the worst thing? If you're playing basketball and somebody who's guarding you is just all up on you, you're like, man, get away from me. Like,
right.
So I always kept pressure. I always tried to keep pressure on you, keep bullying you, because eventually your will, either you're going to have the will to continue this for 4 quarters or you're going to quit. And I'm going to make the plays I want to make. And thank goodness for me, it worked, and I was able to make more plays than not.
I know you're a hip-hop head. I used to see you at, like, different concerts, and I remember when you were playing, I was like, oh, snap, Mike Strahan's at this. Or I remember I saw you at, like, the hip-hop honors one year, you know, and I was like, you know, I had heard, like, oh, Mike Strahan this, and I think I saw you at a De La Soul show maybe in L.A. So I know you, like, but I was like, how do I talk to Mike Strahan? Because, like, I could talk just football. I could talk just, you know, what you do now. I could talk just hip-hop. But one of the things that you did, especially like when you retired, it wasn't really like that. Like, social media wasn't what it is now.
Yeah.
But, like, everything is a hodgepodge. It's social media. Movie stars are doing TV stars are doing social media, huge stars are doing commercials, and you were sort of like a linchpin, a game changer of that, because no one would have thought, I mean, you were a good personality, but no one would have suspected this bully defensive lineman for the New York Giants. Yeah, good personality, but no, this was like, Michael Strahan's going to be hosting Good Morning America.
Nobody thought a guy with a gap in his teeth would be mainstream on TV. I had a friend of mine who said, you're the only man who makes a living talking on TV who can't say the letter S without spitting on people.
Have you perfected the letter S?
No, I still haven't. I still spit on people, but it's all good. But, you know, hey, man, I'm a true believer that you may start in one thing, but it does not limit you to only do that one thing. And I think a lot of people, they're taught, this is what I do, and that's all I can do. So when that's over, then my life is over. What am I going to be? I'm lost. Now, it was tough to quit football or retire from football. And even though I knew I was going to go to Fox and I was going to talk about TV, football and all that stuff, it was still hard. It's still hard to leave something you've done your whole life, then you don't know anything else. But at some point, you're not doing that anymore.
Right.
I wasn't a guy who walked into my house and I had trophies all over the place and like, you got to walk in and see this is what I do. What I do is not who I am. It's what I do.
But what was the vision? Because, I mean, there was people that do it, like Frank Gifford. Of course, O.J. Simpson did it. But, like, when you retired, it wasn't really like, who was the template that you were like, I want to do like this? Because now we got Brandon Marshall.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, he could be the next Mike Strahan.
Yeah.
Like, you sort of, like, configured this whole thing. But, I mean, we're not talking mainstream. We're talking, like, Good Morning America.
But I tell you, I got an incredible business partner in Constance Schwartz. And Constance, I got to say, is the one who saw it. Me, I'm just kind of the worker, man. Like, I'm just doing it. And I'm enjoying it, and I'm doing it. And I just did stuff because it was fun. I enjoyed it. And she had the vision. I remember going on, I filled in for Regis when he was on vacation. The first time I ever did that show. And once we left after I did it, she said to me, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. And I looked at her like, what are you talking about? Like, that was cool. I would love to do it, but nobody's going to give me a job. I'm a big old ex-football player. Nobody even knows who I am. And 20 guest appearances later,
kept having
me come back. And I ended up with that job. And then everything just kind of took off from there. And then to be on Good Morning America I'm still amazed at that. But the way it was explained to me, because I said, what am I doing? I'm not a news guy, and consider myself to be a well-informed guy. I consider myself to be smart, but I don't consider myself to be a traditional journalist.
Right.
And as they explained to me that, the way the world has changed, you talked about social media. Social media has changed the world. Now, how do you get your news? You pick up your phone in the morning, you scroll through your feeds or whatever it may be. But they said the delivery of news on TV is different. They want to see people that don't feel like just a buttoned up, in today's this happened. You don't want that. You want somebody who, in a way, you can relate to, somebody who's delivering you the news that you think are trustworthy and honest. And I think that's been the key. And for me, just trying to interject and be who I am and everything that I do has helped. Like, I don't do a job where I got to act like somebody else.
Right.
Because that's work.
Right.
I don't want to work that hard, man.
I got you.
I work that hard playing football out there trying to be a bully.
I got you.
I don't want to work that hard after I retire from that.
Do you feel comfortable now? I mean, the amount of hours, you talk about reps. In football, they say reps. The amount of reps, hours, I mean, it's hundreds, thousands, millions, I don't even know, of live television that you've done with, with the fill-ins, with your own show, with Good Morning America, with Fox Football. I mean, it's like, do you feel totally comfortable doing it now? Do you feel as comfortable now being on live TV as Michael Strahan, the reporter, the personality, as you did when you were in your zone playing football? You know what I'm saying? Like, that
you know
free
what?
flow.
I feel good, but even in football and even the same thing now, I want stuff to be perfect. I'm not a perfectionist to a fault. Some people are perfectionists to a fault. Like, they'll just kill themselves over. Me, I'll do it, and if I mess it up, it bothers me for a minute, but then just like in a game of football, oh, God, that guy just slammed me. Oh, I didn't make the play. I missed that tackle. Well, they're about to run another play. I can't be thinking about what I just screwed up on. So I would just, I'm perfectionist to a sense that I want to get it right, and I don't like messing up, and I don't like you telling me 100 times how to do it. Tell me once, and I'll kill myself to make it right, because I don't want to disappoint anybody, and I don't want to disappoint myself. But I kind of forget and move on, but I am scared every day. I'm scared on the football field when I first get out there into that first hit, and that's the same way with TV.
Right.
When the light come on and that first few words and then you settle in. Football, you're out there on that field and I'm looking at that dude and I'm going, okay, I got to come off and hit this guy. And after the first hit, you're like, oh, I can't wait to hit him again.
You're in this. You're playing.
Yeah,
whether it's a Super Bowl, big game. Once it starts, like, you're playing ball.
See, that was a difference. You mentioned Super Bowl. The first Super Bowl I was in, we lost to the Ravens, and that was a difference. Something you had to learn because the magnitude of it was so big. The second Super Bowl that we won against the Patriots, I remember myself, Amani Toomey, and Gray Rugermer were the only three guys on that team who had ever gone to a Super Bowl.
Right.
And Gray was a long snapper with the Patriots. Amani and I were the Giants. And the message was, Coughlin had to speak to the team, was basically, it's another game. Once they kick off, it's football. I know it's a lot of cameras and flashlights and light bulbs and hype, but it's still just football.
Right.
And you got to and realize that. And of all the games I've ever played in my entire life, that was the one game where I've never seen 11 guys on the field at a time so locked in. Usually had a guy here, the Jesse Armstead and I, man, at one point, we would always look at each other and Jesse would say, it's me or you in the tunnel. Because we realized one of us has to be the leader out there to bring everybody else along. But in that game, everybody was so locked in. It was that wasn't something like that wasn't necessary.
You're seeing the best of the pro, like,
to come together at the right time. Usually you have a guy who has a good game this week, and then 3 weeks later he has another one. Consistency in football was always the most important thing for me because I wanted guys to know, and it's in work now, and it's how I live my life, man. Is that I want you to know what you're getting. Consistency. I don't want to see Michael Rapaport and I'm one way, and then I see you some other day, and you're like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
Right.
I can't stand that. Be
right.
who you are with me.
Right.
If be cool, I can respect it.
Right.
You if you're consistent as to who you are.
Right. So all these things that you've done the Oscars, you're doing interviews. Does any of this make you nervous? Like, you've met every star in the world. You've met you've met princes. You've met Harry. You met everybody. Like, who haven't you interviewed or met that you're like on your list? Because you met every actor.
Who haven't I? I've never met Brad Pitt.
You never met Brad? How did you never meet Brad
I don't know, man. I would like to meet Brad Pitt. I think Brad Pitt would be a cool guy. I never met Brad Pitt.
That's crazy to me that you never met Brad Pitt.
That's somebody I would like to.
I'll get him on. I'll hook you up.
Yeah. But see, I don't want to interview Brad Pitt. I just want to chill, hang out with Brad Pitt.
But that's crazy. But like all the shows that you've never met Brad Pitt.
Never met Brad Pitt.
Who were you like? I mean, there's so many of them. Like, who among at the years when you're standing there, you're getting ready to do something at the Oscars where you're like, like your out of body experience. Like, I can't believe I'm interviewing this person or that person or a few of like you were just like, that moment. Like I did this thing at the big.
I think a lot of times at the Oscars when you're doing that. First time was, man, I was so scared. I was scared to death the first time I was at the Oscars. And I'll never forget, I was working for Live. I'm doing Live at the time. And Robin Roberts was hosting it for ABC. And I saw her in the distance. And I go over and say hello to her because I've known her for a long time. And Robin said, "You nervous?" And I'm going, "Robin, I'm like, I'm so damn nervous." She said, "You know what, Michael? You're here because you belong here. Trust me, I came from sports too, so don't feel out of place." And you don't know how much those few words she said to me really helped me. I had the best time. And from then on, the nervousness kind of goes away. The most nervous you are when you're at the Oscars sometimes is you better make sure you don't screw up the movie. You better make sure you don't screw up somebody's name, or something like that.
Have you screwed up like, "Oh, hi, I'm here with Sandra Bullock"? I mean,
in my head, but it didn't come out of my mouth, man. But that's like the biggest fear. But I think when you're interviewing somebody like a Steven Spielberg and you're going, "Oh, man, I should E.T."
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, are you like
damn.
tripping out? Like you're like, I wouldn't even. This isn't part of the plan when you're like. You're getting drafted, like like, "Oh, I'm gonna be."
I'm not thinking about what I do now, man. I'm not thinking about any of this. I'm just hoping to, like I said, I would tell people I was just hoping to get a job, so I didn't have to move back in with my parents. Like that was my whole thing. I just wanted to be able to support myself. So everything that's happened, I'm grateful for. I am humbled by it. I am surprised in a lot of ways by it. But I also think if you go into things with the right intentions and the right attitude and you put in the work, then things happen. And I don't do anything, I think your attitude kind of sets the tone for everything else. Because you the guy who walks in the room and people go, "Oh, God, he's here." I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
I want to be the guy that walks into the room and you can respect me. You can know that I have no ill intentions.
Right.
And that will get me into a lot of rooms. It's got me to a lot of rooms. And once you're in that room, especially in business, then you need to show that you belong in that room and you can keep pace with that room.
Right.
Or you can lead that room. And then that's when the other opportunities come. And for me, that's kind of how it's gone. I've gotten into the room as being this, the football player. They won the Super Bowl, big smile. You can't miss the gap in his teeth. Oh, he's just a big teddy bear. But once I'm in the room, then you got to prove the talent that you have can keep you there.
Do you find, we talk about the social media, which has obviously gone nuts since you started playing football, since you stopped playing football. It's like a whole new sort of aspect of life. Do you pay attention to, he did good, he didn't do good, Mike sucked at the Oscars, Mike did this with, like, how much of it does it play into your head? Because I know, I'll take it in. I try not to really believe either of it. Like, obviously you take the compliments, but if Joe Schmo says I suck, I'm like, what the hell does Joe Schmo say?
Yeah.
What do they know?
I think with that, I've learned that if everybody says something good, it'd be 100 good things and one bad thing, and you really want to go through Twitter and rip the head off of the person who said the one bad thing. But if you're going to accept the good, you got to accept that comes with it, or just remove yourself, man. And for me, I think doing the news every morning, and when you have to talk about politics and all these hot button items that get everybody so fired up, that I literally have learned to remove myself from that. Because I can't focus on my job if I'm worrying about Twitter and somebody's feelings and how you're feeling. And I just need to do my job.
Right.
Your opinion of me is your opinion. Your problem with me is your problem if you have one. And so I removed myself from the criticism and all those different things because I found it did not add anything to my life.
That's true.
Except for anxiety.
Right.
And anger.
Right.
And so I go to work, I do my job, I go home, and I feel great. Because
Right.
I'm not worried about some opinion of somebody who I don't even know,
Right.
who may not even be real,
Right.
and who's ashamed to put their picture
Right.
up there and who they are.
Right.
And I'm letting them affect my mood in my life? Nah, I'm removed myself.
How much do you know about the media that you had no idea about? Like, I mean, I know
so much.
for me, I knew just even like politically, the Fox News, the MSNBC, CNN, in the last year and a half watching it, I'm like, I tell my wife sometimes, like, yo, ESPN is the same thing. Like the sports news is the same thing. Like, Steph Curry's a bum. He should retire. He shouldn't start. The next day, Steph Curry's the MVP of the Golden State Warriors. You know, it changes.
Yeah.
But like for you, like, but because you're in it, you were scrutinized as a player.
Buy it, yeah.
How much do you know about, like, how much do you really understand about it now? That you really, like, you're like an expert level almost.
I understand a lot more now. I understand how it works, how the system works. I understand what people, and they understand what people want to see, what people are interested in, and that's what you give and bring people. And sometimes it's good things, sometimes it's bad things, sometimes it's controversial, sometimes it's sugary sweet. But they understand how, you know, what a news cycle is and what everybody has their minds on. And the great thing is now with social media, you know what people want to hear, what they want to see, what the country is interested in, what stories they're interested in. And that has been like, I think, a good thing for a lot of different media outlets, because now it's like an immediate feedback. You don't have to guess and hope that we get it right. Now you can kind of figure out, okay, are we on the right track or not?
So with all this, I'll call it like, you know, personality-driven stuff, you know, you've gone so far. Like, what is like the next thing that you'd want to accomplish, you personally? Because you've conquered a lot with this. Like, it's arguably like you've done like more with, obviously there's no you have to retire because your hip is sore. Like, you've almost, how long have you been retired?
10 years. 10 years. Been that long, man.
So it's been 10 years of Michael Strahan, the personality. You played football for how many years?
15.
Okay, so we're not there yet. But at some point, you're going to be like, yo, I've been doing this longer than I played football. What do you want to do next? Like, what's like your like eye on the prize? Like, when you were a kid, you're like, I want to play in the NFL. What's your Michael Strahan, you know, post-football thing that you're like, this would be the craziest, coolest thing that I could do?
Man, that's a good question. Damn. Why you going to put me on a question like that?
Come on, Mike. I know you have to have...
I would have showed up late if I knew I was going to be asked questions like this.
You notice I haven't even cursed because I know we're ABC, we're family friendly. I haven't even cursed, Mike. I didn't even say shit.
But I tell you this, I am very much kind of open to whatever happens and enjoying life. But, you know, I have businesses that I'm building out, and I just want to, you know, have a clothing business that has been doing extremely well. I want to see that kind of build out.
Suits.
The suits. We have athleisure. We have luggage. I'll send you some stuff, man.
Come on, Mike.
You think, let me know your size. I got you.
Hook me up, because when you're on TV, I mean, you come over here, you're like, you know, a Joe regular, but
casual,
you're on TV,
man.
you're suited and booted.
Yeah.
Are you rocking your suits?
I'm rocking my suits. All the guys on Fox NFL Sunday rock my suits.
Well, I'm just a joke. The I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Like, when I make an appearance,
you are not going to be in a suit in your house, man.
No, but when I go out and you know I talk shit, I'm be like, I'm wearing the Michael Strahan collection.
Okay, I got you. I'm going to hook you up. But I think just watching that, like, to start something from nothing.
Right.
And to build that and see how it's going, I love that.
Do you love that because it's totally yours and it's like someone, like, and it's the idea and it's like
you have an idea about something.
It's your name.
You thought, okay, let me start a podcast.
Yes.
And you don't know if anybody's going to listen.
Right.
The next thing you know, you're like, oh my God, this thing is actually working.
And you can't blame it on anybody.
No,
it's
on
not
you.
the coach. It's not the producer. It's not your co-host.
Yep.
It's you. So that's something you obviously care about.
So I care about that. Constance and I, we have a production company, which we do Pyramid, we do Joker's Wild.
Oh, you do Joker's Wild?
We do Joker's Wild with Snoop.
That's
we
dope.
do Nickelodeon Kids Sports Awards. We do quite a bit in our production company. So to be able to do all those things, but just to build the business. I love being in front of the camera. I love what I do, but I think the next chapter is to have things that have been created where I don't have to be the face. I don't always have to be there, 24/7 with my face plastered all over it, because at some point people get sick of you.
Right.
You know,
right.
And I don't want to be an old man on TV.
You don't want to be like Dick Clark.
Nah, Dick Clark was like 70, 80 something years old
Right.
on TV, and
There might have been a couple of years.
But he's fantastic.
Yeah, he
you know
killed
what I'm
it.
saying? But that's not what I want to do.
I got you.
Now I might. Well, then again, I do love hosting Pyramid, which you came on
Yep.
and did. But who knows? But I think I just want to be able to pick and choose camera things I do in front of the camera. But the business end of it is where I have a lot of interest.
Okay.
'Cause I think it challenges you in some way that I was never challenged before.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. The New York Giants current. I'm going to tell you my opinion because I'm not trying to walk you into anything. I feel like eventually the Giants are going to need a new quarterback, but I feel like based on everything that we went through last year,
Yep.
Eli Manning, at least this year, God willing, he doesn't get hurt. Like, it's like we're re-ing up. It's like the band's getting back together. I feel like Eli's going to be solid this year. I think Eli at his best, it's like it was never like you never knew exactly what was going to happen, but I think at least we're going to get that Eli. So my question to you, and I'm a Giants dude, is Eli Manning done?
No.
Why not?
I think Eli has a few good years left if you protect him. If you protect him,
The
that's
if
the
is
key.
big.
If
you slip through the F. The
Well,
if.
yeah,
You gotta protect
but
him.
now they brought in Soldier from New England.
Yep.
They brought in everybody loves this kid Hernandez, this
Yep.
rookie. They brought in this huge guy. I don't know what you're going to do with Flowers if he goes to the other side, but it doesn't matter which side he's on. He can't be a revolving door like he was last year, just
Right.
letting people run through it. So I think if you protect Eli, he could be great. He could be the guy who did what he did when you won Super Bowls because he can throw the hell out of the ball. Just got to give him time. You can't have him back there rush. You can't have him throw off his back foot. That's always been a weakness. And with that being said, if you protect him, you can develop more plays than just a slant to Beckham. Throw it to Odell and let Odell just try to figure out how to make a big play out of it. It's frustrating to watch, but that was their biggest play, it seemed like, the last few years. And you got Shepard. You got all these other guys who can play. Saquon is going to be outside with the line and with Saquon. The thing is with Saquon, when you talk about Eli being done, Eli's not done if you give him protection and if he has a running game. Last few years, they haven't had a consistent running game.
Haven't had anything.
So you can just stack up on Beckham, and what do you have? What is he going to do? So I think with a running game and a running back like Saquon who can catch out the backfield, oh, man, the little screens, little pop passes, little things that take some pressure off of the rush, I think Eli's going to be great this year. I'm looking forward to watching it.
Can you tell if a guy, like, forget Fox when you were talking football, forget even naming names. Can you tell, this is a football player. This guy's good. This guy's a bum. This guy's middle level.
Oh, yeah.
Can you just because can you see like you could tell?
Yeah, you can tell.
For what? Do you need to see him play? Can you see him at a workout, at a comment like Saquon Barkley? Like I love him.
Yeah.
I not only, like I love that he's from New York.
Yeah.
I love that the Giants picked him. Like I love that he has star potential. He's bigger than I think people think.
Yeah, man, he's built like a tree trunk. I mean,
That dude is big.
He just jacked up.
His name is Saquon Barkley. That's a dope ass name, Saquon Barkley.
That is a dope ass name.
I mean, but like when you see these rookies, can you see like saying like this guy's going to do good?
Yeah, I think you can see that, and you can't go by college either. Like you can in a sense, but you never know. How many times we've seen a guy look great in college?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, the guy's a bum in the pros. But Saquon, I love what he did in college, but I want to see the kid. I want to see you work outside of when you're in practice.
That's how you
me.
can tell?
Yeah. Because physically, most guys, you're not going to be built like Saquon. You may not be as fast as him or as strong as him, but a guy who may not be all those things and realizes it, but realizes I got to work extra hard to get there, who's killing himself to stay there and maintain or get better, that guy will end up at the end of the day making more plays for you than a guy who has all the talent in the world who does not work. He'll show you flashes and get you excited and keep himself in the league for some years and make a little money, but you need a player who's going to work hard. And I remember, man, my rookie year, like LT didn't show up every day to practice. I ain't going to lie to you. He didn't show up every day, but when he did, the dude went 100 miles per hour, chasing the ball, rushing, playing every play he had to play in practice. He went 100 miles per hour.
When he was
there.
And that was towards the end.
Yeah, that was his last year. Every play, 100 miles per hour. Pass rush drills, 100 miles per hour. And it taught me, damn, I know Lawrence Taylor was my favorite player. And I'm watching him going, I thought he was just big, strong, fast, just better than everybody. The dude works. He's smart. He knew formations, which something I learned later, formations to know what they're going to do before they even do it. So he can know, when you can, what kind of energy you need to put out there for this play, exert for this play, if they're coming at you or not, if you just need to seal the backside. Like, he knew all these things, and the dude worked hard in practice. So when I was that
never say that. Being a fan of Lawrence, I've never heard that said because everything overshadowed it and his natural ability
That's
to
what I
change
thought,
the
too.
game. But what you just said, I don't think I've ever heard. And we've talked everything about Lawrence.
Yeah, we have.
I mean, we've been way out there and back. But that one thing that you just said, I never heard that said about him.
Yeah, people just thought he was this great athlete, which he was, but he knew what he was doing, and he worked at it, man. So when I was 13, 14, 15 years in the league, and you can call up OC, and you can call up Tuck, and you can call up Coughlin, all these guys, when we were in practice, I didn't miss practice. I didn't do I'm a vet, and I don't need to young boys get in there and take these reps. I never did that. I took every rep. I ran to every ball that was thrown down the field. I was staying there sometimes extra because first of all, I need to work
Right.
for myself. Secondly, I'm supposed to be the guy who's the leader here. And if your leader's not working hard, how do you expect the other guys to? How am I going to look some guy in the eye in the game when the team is marching down the field and going to calmly say, hey, man, let's go. Like, pick it up. We got this. Let's go.
Right.
If he knows that, dude, you just out here talking. You didn't put in the work.
Right.
Nothing. I would never want anybody to ever say that about me. And the bottom line is when you walk away from the game and you hear so much about the guy you're going to play against. This guy's great. That guy's great. And O.J. Anderson, my man, gave me the best advice. He said, you're going to hear about the reputation of this player and that player. Don't listen to all that stuff. You play against them yourself and you judge yourself from your experience. So I always thought about somebody hearing about, Michael Strahan supposed to be this, he's supposed to be that. I didn't want them to walk away from the game after playing against me and going, he wasn't nothing. No, you're gonna feel it. Like, we may not win the game, but you're gonna respect me. You're gonna respect what you thought. And going to be probably more. I'm trying to give you more than what you ever heard about it. Because everybody's trying to knock you off the pedestal when everybody knows your name. So I always looked at it as I'm out here playing for respect more than I'm playing for anything else.
That's dope. Do you still have dreams of football? Like, actual while you're sleeping, do you ever I was dreaming that whatever, I'm coming off the line, or I'm dreaming that I'm somehow the quarterback, or just actual dreams of football?
Nah, I haven't had those dreams
sleeping dreams, not like imagination. I'm talking about
No. I haven't. I haven't had those dreams in a long time, man. But every once in a while, I'll flip on the TV and there'll be some Football Life on or some Giant Chronicles, and you'll see something I'll see something with myself, and I'll go, damn, man, I want to go out there and do that again. I can still do that. I can still do that.
Is there a part of you in your head for a second?
Yeah, still part of me in my head.
And then you get up and you're like, oh.
Well, I'll work out, and then I'll be like, oh, no, hell no, I'm too sore now. So I couldn't do it. But there's still a part of you that thinks you can do it, because I retired, and they asked for me to come back, and I said no. I didn't limp off the field. I walked.
Right.
So for me, there's always the part of me that says, if you really wanted to, but I didn't quit physically. I feel great. I feel better now than I felt when I was 25 years old. But mentally and in my heart, man, I had already checked out. We won that Super Bowl, and I said, I'm retired and I'm done. And then OC got hurt in camp, and they wanted me to come back, and I was close. Very close to coming back for one more. And then I decided that I just know if I came back for one more year, it would have been for the wrong reasons, and it would have been more just, I might as well go make this money, more so than me being able to give 100% because I would have to be in it 100%.
And how could you top the way it ended?
And how could you top the way it ended? So now I can walk down the street and have people go, Michael, thank you for that Super Bowl, man, and you can still do it. And I'm going, yeah, I can, even though I know I can't. Right. But that's what they remember. They remember going out on top.
That was storybook.
Oh, that was unbelievable, man. Nobody.
All right, let's talk about that. As a Giants fan, as a New Yorker, Patriots, Tom Brady, dramatic fashion. It was so gorgeous. It was. It was so beautiful. It was everything.
It was good.
Have you seen Tom Brady since you?
Yeah. I'm business partners with Tom. I got a business with Tom, man.
So whenever you're like in business, do you ever just like out of nowhere, like I'm talking about, like you could be like really like talk about crunching numbers and you'd be like, you remember that day? And
I don't have to remind him. I don't have to. It's one of my
Can you
favorite
just like
pictures.
you like give him a look? He knows.
Oh, he knows. As a matter of fact, we had a meeting at his apartment here in the city, and after
Like
the
what
meeting,
are we talking about? We talking about top floor. We're talking about he got the whole shit. Like
we talking about
it's Tom Brady
real
crib.
nice, man.
Real nice.
He and Giselle live real nice. Top, like nice. High floor, great views,
Yeah.
all this
the
stuff.
whole thing.
Yeah, the whole
And he's
thing.
got Super Bowl trophies except for that one
Yeah.
that we took
Yeah,
ripped
he
from
didn't
his
have
heart.
that
Two
one.
of them we ripped from the heart. Ripped it right from his
Right
heart.
from the heart. Right from the heart, man. He doesn't have no.
No, that's
And
not there.
But we finished the meeting. He's like, let's recreate just you hit me in the Super Bowl. So it's like I'm like in front of the refrigerator like I'm hitting him, and he's like, ah! So it's cool. He has a good sense of humor about it, but he's one of the most competitive people I've ever met. And people give Tom Brady a rap, the bad rap, oh, Tom Brady, pretty boy, this and that.
He's
But when
sick.
you see how hard that cat works, and I know he's 40 years old and to still have
a
the
beast.
desire that he has to play, it takes a lot, man, to play. And especially when you're a quarterback and to still want to do it in the way he wants to do it when he doesn't have to do it. He's the most accomplished quarterback in the history of the game.
He's an animal.
He's an animal.
He's a beast. That's why you want to kick
But
his
people
ass.
are jealous and mad at him for winning.
I don't know why they're jealous and mad at winning. Like as much as I love seeing him lose. Yo, the reason why I love seeing him lose is because he wins so much and he's a savage.
Exactly.
He's a savage.
I agree.
And anyone who tries to say anything else is distorted.
And how many quarterbacks do you see that will go up and down at a lineman and like get up on their face and get the crowd? Like he may be a pretty looking guy, man, but he is like you put it back. He is a savage.
Savage.
He is a savage.
He's a straight up football player.
But my favorite picture I have of me and him, Super Bowl, after I sack him, and it's a picture of him laying with his head down with the ball right next to him. And you can see the back of me and I'm flexing and OC standing in the picture. I got to get it signed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to wait for the right time to say, Tom, hook your boy up with this one because I know he's not going to like the picture.
You know what you should do, Mike? You should, if you put the photograph like in your pocket, I know it'll screw up the photo, but if you fold like a piece of paper and you just, can you sign this? And then he takes it out and he's like, make him do it like that. Like, so he thinks he just...
No, hell no. I'm just going to say, hey, man, I got this picture here. Sign it. I'm going to make him sign it. That's what
Yeah, man, with nice ink and to my good friend, Mike. I remember this day joyously. When I ask you, let's exclude Tom Brady from it, because we just talked about him, and I acknowledge his greatness. Who's the greatest quarterback that you played against outside of... Obviously, Tom is one of them. Who's the greatest quarterback that during your period of playing? That you were like, this guy's sick.
One guy who comes to mind that I always was like, damn, this guy's amazing. Was Trey Aikman.
Okay.
That whole team. But Aikman was a stud.
Why? What about him?
His presence, his strength. He would get rid of that ball. I mean, he knew where he was going with the ball before it even got to his hands from the center. I mean, Aikman was just a stud, man. That whole team was just put together really well. He was a stud. Brett Favre, always. I mean, Brett Favre, one of the greatest improvisers to just make things happen. A guy who's underappreciated, who carried the team on his back in that city. They didn't appreciate him. Donovan McNabb. When he first got there, they had Detmer. He was split time with Detmer.
Right.
And we were praying that Detmer stayed in the game because we didn't want to see McNabb.
Right.
McNabb was a beast, man.
Right.
And carried that team. And Donovan was another guy. I always respected him. Sacked him more than anybody else.
Yes.
Yeah, and I
Didn't you break the record sacking him?
No. That was I tied it sacking him. Yeah, I had 3.5, 4 sacks in a game. John Runyon, thank you. Congrats. And then the hardest guy to sack was Jake the Snake Plummer.
Wow.
Because he could just he was limber, man. Cat would just slide out of your grip. Just slide out of your grip. And Doug Flutie was no joke either. He was
Little Doug.
Yeah,
it was real with him.
Little Doug could
like a
move
soccer
all
player,
around,
right?
Man, yeah, exactly. But it was a challenge, like chasing, all these guys around, to be honest with you. But I always appreciate Aikman. I always appreciated how he was as a player, was just stoic. You know what I mean? Like he felt. I was on the other team, felt confident in him.
Right. Like he had that Dallas Cowboy,
good
old, like it was
swagger,
real.
Like I'm the dude.
I got you.
I'm the dude.
If who's the one player offensive that you'd have to go against that I say right now, 10 years out of the league, where you like, I had to get some sleep for him. One or two guys where you like, man, that was
Eric Williams. Offensive tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. He was no joke.
How big was he?
Eric's about, man, I swear he's probably like, seemed like a monster to me, but he's probably about 6'5", 6'6", 325 pounds, 320. But it wasn't the size. I mean, the size, I wanted you to be bigger.
So you could go.
Yeah, no. I didn't mind that because the bigger you are, I felt I was going to be that much more of a better athlete than you. And I felt like I could get you off balance, and then it was more impressive to be the big guy than it was to be the small guy. And the smaller guys were harder because smaller guys were more athletic.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And their feet, they could get in front of you.
Yeah, their feet and all this stuff. Eric Williams, three guys. Eric Williams, the meanest, nastiest dude. I swear that dude was mean. He was nasty, man. He was illegal. He didn't care. Throw a flag. I'll do it again. Yeah, Eric was dirty. But in a good way. He put me on my toes. Like I couldn't get out there and mess around and not be on top of my game with him. Leon Searcy, another underestimated guy, played in Pittsburgh and Jacksonville. He was a tough. I don't want to see him ever again. And then John Runyon.
Okay.
Like I had a lot of success against John Runyon. But that was because I had to study that cat, man. I had to be ready.
He brought out the best in you.
Yeah, he brought out the best in me. I had to be ready for him every time. He's one of the strong. Once he puts his hands on you, it was over. It was a wrap.
He was. You could feel his strength.
Oh yeah.
Who are the quickest guys off the line of scrimmage, running backs, where like you were just like, yo, what is this?
Barry Sanders would be over there by the couch, and then the next thing you know, he's out there on the street. Barry Sanders was. You can't even explain it, but he was a guy. His offensive line, man, I swear, there would be plays they would hand him the ball. His own linemen would turn around and watch him run. They wasn't even trying to block. I'm like, come on, man, I know he's amazing, but help the dude out. And you think you had him, and he was the only player. He's the only running back that we would do special tackling drills for in practice.
What do you mean?
We would take the quickest little like jitterbug wide receiver from the practice squad, and we would make him Barry Sanders, and then it would be a drill where everybody on defense had to swarm to the ball and create a perfect like circle, like a ring, so he couldn't get out. Every other running back, you just practice regular. Nobody even worries about that. For him, we only had special drills.
And was he so low to the ground?
Barry was low to the ground, but he was strong.
Right. It's like a bowling ball, right?
Like Saquon, man. Like built just solid. But Barry was so quick, and he just made moves that you can't even think about these moves. They're just unconscious for him to do those things because most people couldn't do things like that. He was faster than you thought he was going to be, quicker than you thought he was going to be. And I remember I tackled him one time down by their goal line by myself. I was so proud, man. I was a young player. Tackled him, I get up and I go, yeah. He looked at me and said, I'll be back. And he never talked. So for Barry to say that, scared the hell out of me. I'm like, Barry, I wanted to apologize. Barry, I'm sorry, man. I didn't really mean it.
Don't come back. I don't want you to come back.
I don't want you to come back.
Are you like? I remember when I did the pyramid. You were talking about Cam Newton was on. We were talking about the size of the players now. Cam Newton is bigger than you.
Yeah.
In your prime.
Yeah.
He's a quarterback.
Well, in my prime, I'm probably have him by weight. But then at the end of my career,
But by
the end of my career, he has me by weight.
But
he looks like Superman. He's built
like 260, right?
Yeah, he's built like he's built like one of those plastic, like the like action figure dolls.
The size of the players, like you were sort of ahead of you. You were big.
When I was younger, I was bigger. But then when about my last 3 years, we weigh in every Friday, by the way. And for every pound, or even if you're off by 2 ounces, you got to lose it. But it's $300 for each pound.
That you go over.
But the size of these guys now, just since you left the league,
They're
bigger. Yeah, huge.
Did you ever imagine there'd be quarterbacks like this big?
No, I never. I mean, like Cam, you look at Cam Newton and you think he's like a tight end. I mean, but he's just ripped up. He's a big guy. He's like an Adonis or something,
yeah,
man.
It's crazy.
But it's amazing that this guy is a freaking quarterback, because that's usually the kid growing up that they look at him and they will never make him a quarterback because he's too good at everything else.
Right.
So we'll just get him the ball some other way so that he can have some open field to run. They would never let him be the quarterback unless he's in the yard with his brothers. You know what I'm saying? So to see Cam doing what he's doing at his size is really impressive. And I think he's like the super breed of quarterback.
Is he great?
He can be.
Obviously.
He can be great. Has he reached that status yet? As far as like Hall of Fame, not yet. And not so much necessarily, I'm going to say accomplishments or whatever it may be, but he hasn't been around long enough. I mean, it takes some time to put that work in. So, but do I think he can be? Absolutely.
Of course he can be.
Yeah.
Who in the NFL playing right now is great?
Aaron Rodgers. Like I can't even figure him out. Because the dude, the way he gets out of the pocket, he can throw the ball from any angle. A lot of quarterbacks, if they're not set a certain way, the play is over. They can't do nothing with it. They're going to throw it up and get a pick or whatever. This cat can needle and throw a ball, the needle in a haystack, and just throw it through a needle, holding a needle from anywhere, from any angle, being chased, going out of bounds. That Green Bay Dallas game, when he threw that ball to the tight end along the sideline after scrambling out, how do you do that? He is the most special quarterback in the league right now, without a doubt.
I agree. What about running backs? Who's great? Like when I say who's a great running back?
Great running back. Hopefully Saquon Barkley.
But proven, though, like guys that are like...
No, I said hopefully him, yeah.
I mean,
proven.
Le'Veon, I mean...
Le'Veon Bell is I think he's great. And I don't know why they don't want to pay the guy. You know, I think
what more does he need to do? Because of injuries?
You know what? Yeah, but running backs are different. They think at the age of 30, running backs are done. So even Adrian Peterson, as great as he was, when he hit 30, it's like, oh, we don't really want to pay him anymore. We don't, running backs, they feel a dime a dozen. You can kind of get a running back, get some good years, and then you get rid of them. And most teams, David Johnson out of Arizona, great player, but most teams don't have one running back. It's kind of like a running back by committee.
Why is that?
Because they did wear and tear.
Is that why?
I think it's wear and tear, and you kind of need two running backs to make it through a season now. So it's kind of like wear and tear of that. But David Johnson, I think in Arizona, is a special player. I just my man in Pittsburgh, his whole thing is patient.
Yeah,
I've never seen a guy run because he's standing up. It's not like he's like down and hunched. He's standing up.
Like he's waiting for, literally stands
and I'm
up.
like, you want to say, Le'Veon, what are you doing? Then pop, he gets through a hole. His acceleration off of one step is incredible through a hole. And as a defender, you're kind of waiting to see what he's going to do. And next thing you know, he's by you. And it's genius.
Do you, like last year, all the turmoil that the Giants were in, and we were decimated in one game. We lost the entire... every single wide receiver, their cousin, their friends, they all got injured. Do you is there a part of you, you're a broadcaster, you're on Fox News, but do you still bleed that blue and red for the Giants? Are you emotionally involved? Damn, I want them. You have to, right?
You have to. Come on, man. 15 years. That's never going away. And I don't care. I'll pick, if they make us pick games and the Giants involved, I always pick the Giants.
No matter
Win or
what.
lose, I'm like, y'all know you set me up, but I got to take the Giants. And trust me, people, you homer, you this, you
what
that.
do they expect?
I'm like, what do you expect? If I'm not rooting for them, then I'm not sitting in this chair or doing anything else that I do. So always, and I watch the games. People at Fox are always on me because I'm screaming, I'm hollering, I'm jumping out to see. I'm involved, man. I want to see them win. I want to see them win it all, and that is like family. So why wouldn't I?
I got you. Hip hop.
Yep.
You're a hip hop dude. You're a hip hop head. I'm gonna throw two hip hop questions because I'm sure I'm already keeping you to be later than you were going to be for your next thing. Michael Strahan's top 5 favorite groups first.
Eric B. and Rakim.
Boom! I just saw him live.
Oh, I've been trying to catch them. Did you do the MTV?
I did. I saw him in L.A. in a small place, and it was everything you'd want to be in. His voice, Rakim's voice, and
his
Eric,
voice, man. It's
I was like, It bugged me. I had a few, like, I was like, yo, I'm bugging out here.
Yeah, dig into my pocket, all my money spent, so the deeper, but still coming up with lint. I mean, come on, man. Tell me that ain't no lie. EPMD?
Okay. See, I don't think a lot of people know how hip-hop, like, I know you're official with your hip-hop.
Yeah, EPMD, man. EPMD. Man, who else would I'm trying to figure out,
I'll just throw.
I'm trying to figure out who I used to listen to in my car when I used to be Mob Deep.
Okay.
Mob Deep, Wu-Tang. You gotta love Wu-Tang.
That's 4.
NWA.
Okay, I'll give you one more. NWA. That's a
I
solid
remember being in my parents' car with my boys bumping that. My mom would have killed me if she'd known I was playing that. But
I mean, it was so vulgar.
Yeah.
At the time,
vulgar,
like
man.
even like, yo, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
It was like it used to be like hip hop was one thing. All of a sudden, it went from like this to just completely another level without anything in between. Like it just jumped, and they made it. They went to a 10 when it was a 2. You know what I mean?
And their accents too, like it just the whole like what they were saying and like the LA twang that they were like, yo, what is it? Like this is like this is like Japanese. All right.
All right, give me some more because there's too many. Dude,
All right, do your cherry on top. This is just
off
like,
the top of my head. Those were 5.
Okay. All right. Top 5. I'm gonna do top 6 and it's interchangeable. And I know you're gonna leave some out. You know what the question is? Michael Strahan's top 6 MCs. And if you want to keep rocking the 10, because you don't feel you want to leave anybody out, I get it because I know you're passionate about it.
I would say top 10 to 6 MCs. You know what, man? I think if I had to listen to one person and somebody, I heard them getting mixed into a new song, and I was like, it still works. Biggie.
Yes.
It still works.
You don't have to explain it.
No. And then I was, it's a vibe. Biggie gives you a vibe. He puts you in the story. Like I can see myself, like, you know, everything he's saying, you just picture, he paints a picture with words, man. And he just put him in, I was like, Biggie.
Well, one of the great MCs with a lisp, you could appreciate, because there's like, you know, there's a whole, like when you said EPMD.
Yeah.
My man, I was like, you know, so, but at one point I want someone to compile all the MCs with lisp because there's more than you think.
Yeah, there are more. Yeah, that is true. But I think you know, of course, we go Biggie, then you got to go Tupac.
Okay.
I had my Tupac run as well. Nas. Of course, you got Jay.
Okay.
You know, man, J. Cole.
He's good.
J. Cole. What was the song? He's that 6'9" kid, that little that little kid who's like coming at him.
Yeah.
Whoever, you know what that kid is, but. The record, the what he put out towards that kid, kind of saying, you know what, I respect this young game.
Right.
I respect you cats, but this is how the game is played. When I listened to that, I said that's one of the most brilliant things I've heard in a long time.
Yes.
And I've always been a big J. Cole fan.
I agree.
So
he's thoughtful. He's from the essence of all the guys you just mentioned beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
He plays the game right. If you were talking about a football player, it'd be like he plays the game right.
Yeah. And then you got to go like Kendrick Lamar, very conscious, and like what he said is like to the heart. He didn't come out with an album that you would think commercially would probably be successful. He came out with an album that was what he was feeling. And then there are certain guys who have added so much to like hip hop because they made hip hop work for the world. Mm-hmm. So when you look at a Snoop and you go, damn, Snoop's still going, but Snoop had music that made the world feel good. Mm-hmm. Then you had Dre, you know. Like I said, Biggie did that. You know, it just made the world feel good. And that's the thing about hip hop. I don't know anybody of a certain age who isn't a fan of it. But I can tell you that a lot of them aren't a fan of other genres of music as their parents were.
Right.
But hip hop kind of seems like it transcends all races, colors. It does not matter.
When it was first, who would have thought? I mean, it's like what Biggie said. You never thought that hip hop would take it this far. He was talking about just a little bit, but like the thing about like Jay-Z, talk about crossover.
Yeah,
I saw Jay once, and I was like, in your wildest dreams, like there was forget about a template for a Michael Strahan. Like Jay-Z is like he's in a different stratosphere.
Yeah.
like crossover, like homeboys, like, you know, he might own this building. He might own, like, I mean,
Brilliant.
Jay-Z.
I went out and bought art because he put out that, go buy your art. I went out and bought some art because
I know
of
what you
Jay-Z.
mean. I think a lot of people got married because, like, yo, if Jay-Z's getting, you know what I'm saying? Like, he made it cool. Like, he made it okay. Like, you could be a thuggish, cool ex-drug dealer, shit talker, and like, yo, I'm gonna get married. I'm gonna settle down. Like, he's had a real.
But he married Beyonce, man.
That's true. I mean, it's not like I got it. It wasn't a tough choice.
But you know what? I respect the fact that guys evolve.
Yes.
And I remember years ago, man, when the Nets, I was at a Nets game when Jay owned part of the Nets. The Nets were playing out in Jersey at that time, the Meadowlands. In halftime, they're like, "Hey, Jay wants you to come. He and B are in the back suite. Wants you to come, to the suite." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I go back there with the girl lady I was dating at the time. And we're sitting back there and we're just talking, and Jay says, "Man, who is your person who's taking care of you?" Because they're killing it because you're doing all these different, I was doing a lot of commercials and different things. And I'm sitting there looking at him going, "Jay-Z, why are you telling me this? Like, I appreciated him acknowledging, all the different things that I was doing. But I think that he has a template that if you're in hip hop or if you're in sports, if you're in business, you're in entertainment, whatever you are, he's touched his hand in every one, and he shows you that first of all, you can't be afraid. You got to take chances. You got to believe in yourself. And when you know the direction, you stay on the direction. Don't just have other people guiding you and throwing you and telling you what to do. You be a boss.
Right.
Be a boss.
Right.
And own it. If it works, it's great. If it doesn't work, that's great. As long as you bossed it and you put everything you had into it, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
All right. Mike Strahan, I can't tell you how much I appreciate
all good, my brother. I
you rocking with me, man. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, man, y'all got to come over here to Rapaport's crib, man. He's serving drinks. He's got good food. I mean, the party's popping. We're about to turn this off, and we're going to get it in.
Yo, I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast Tour is real. It's real. The I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast World Tour is real. Thursday, July 26th in Toronto. Saturday, August 4th in New York City. Saturday, August 18th in Houston, Texas. Wednesday, August 22nd in fucking Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at Union Transfer. I cannot wait to play Philly. And Saturday, the 25th of August in Boston, Massachusetts. We're coming out there, Brady. August 25th, I Am Rapaport Tour. You could get tickets, www.IamRapaportTour.com. Come see me, G Moody, and you know we're always going to have special guests all summer long. IamRapaportTour.com. All right, I want to thank our guest, Michael Strahan, for coming on the show. That was fantastic. I appreciate it. You guys know where to find Michael Strahan. You got to figure out where not to fight him. He's everywhere. He's doing his thing. Thank you for rocking on the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Moody, last name rhymes with duty.
Yeah.
Subscribe, rate, review. Listen, if you don't have the premium app, you're missing out. That's all I'm going to fucking say. You're missing out. Premium episodes, emergency podcasts, emergency short films, all available on the premium app. You know where to find it. Miles Jordan, it's the end of the show. Take us out of here with something funky. Take us out of here with something nice. Take us out of here with something real proper. I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. G Moody, last name rhymes with duty. I am Mr. New York, a.k.a. the Gringo Man Dingo, a.k.a. Michael Rapaport. We're done.
Peace.